I'll take it back. So page 42, all right? We ultimately want the height of the building above ground. So we're going to have to figure out this and then add the building as well to it to find the total height of this triangle. Do you know what this is telling us? What is this telling us? Angle BAC is 148. I'm going to use a red pen for everything I add to this thing. Where is BAC? BAC. It's this one right here. So you can write in 148 right there. Maybe I'll use a highlighter for that. This whole angle here is BAC, which is 148. What else can I find out? You should zoom into this bottom corner here. There's actually some gold down here, okay? So if you know that the whole thing is 64, and then that line that cuts that 64, if you know that this is 58, you can actually find this angle, right? You go 64 minus 58. And that's just, it's a small amount, it's just 6 degrees, but it makes sense because it's a sliver, right? It's a small separation, so that's 6 degrees. So I added this from the, I was given that information. I figured out the 6, because remember, 58 and 6 is 64, it's the whole thing. Now I can find this one up here. I have 2 out of 3 angles. So this angle over here is 180 minus what? Minus 148 minus 6. That is 26, yes. You got those? So I'm going to write the 26 in there as well. So you got lots of information there, by the way. I'm just going to keep going because I like angles, right? Who likes angles? Anyways. What is this one here? I need a different color highlighter here. You see this straight line? You see this? There's a 180 there along that straight line going down. So I can find that as well. I'm going to go arrow out. I'm going to say 180 minus 148. And that is 32. So now I know that this is 32. Question. Let's see. This 32, could I have found it a different way? I think so. Watch. Isn't there a triangle right here? Could you have gone 180 minus 90 minus 58, right? The small one, then you would have come up with it. Yeah. It should jive. If it doesn't jive, then we have a problem, right? Okay. So I've put in a lot of information. I don't even know if I need all of that, but I just wanted to show you angles, right? Once you find what's missing, you just fill in the rest, and then it just fills in, okay? Okay, now let's solve. What do we want to do here? Which triangle has the most information out of these two? And I would argue this one, because you've got the 30 up here. Okay, let's call this triangle A maybe. I'm going to recreate that one here because I think it's a little messy up there. Hey, look at that. That's not bad. Just going to focus on that. This is 6. This is 30. We know this is 148. And we know this is 26. All right, which side should I solve for? And some of you might have done it a different way. This one? Yeah, I would solve for the one that's shared between the two. Yeah, let's call that, I don't know, you can call it X, Y, Z. I'll go with Y. Sine of 6 degrees. It's weird, but it's okay. right? Sine of 6 over 30 meters. And then I'm going to go sine of which one? Sine of 26 is going to solve this one. So this is one of the harder ones. This style is one of the harder ones you're going to encounter, but it's not all going to be just one step, right? So you need to be prepared for something that requires a little bit more work, okay? Why? Cross multiply and divide. You're really good at cross multiplying and dividing, so I don't know, your previous teachers did a really good job at that. I don't see a lot of mistakes there, so way to go. Okay, 30 times sine of 26 divided by sine of 6. It's 125.81, and we are in meters. And now I'm going to solve for page 42. Now that I have this side of this right triangle, I'm going to hone in on this one. I know it might be a little tight, but I'm going to try it anyways. The one you just found is this one for me. I'm going to call this H for height, not for hypotenuse. Okay, don't mix those up. This is a 90. I know that this one is, if I put 64 in here, am I okay? It's actually wrong, right? If I put 64 in here, because if I refer to this line, I have to use 58, okay? So this is 58. There you have your pair, and that will allow you to solve. So sine of 90 over 125.81, sine of 58 over h. Cross multiply and divide. See, I know that some of you might end up in an industry where you use SOHCAHTOA all the time, because plumbing, a lot of these are always right triangles. Trust me, if you get this trig, you will get that one in no time, right? It'll just be a refresher for you, so don't worry about it too much. But this one solves for every case, so why wouldn't you, right? So 125.81 times sine of 58 divided by sine of 90, but that's just 1. That's my height of that smaller triangle. Does that answer the question? Not yet. This is just this. I want to know the entire height, the top of the building compared to the ground. So total height above ground. I write it at the bottom here. I'm going to go 106.69 plus 30. So that's 136.69 meters. All right. So this is probably on the harder side in terms of lots of steps required. But you know what? Just start solving and inch your way in. Make a diagram, right? Don't just cram everything in, right? Like space it out. We're good? I know it's Friday. I know you just want to get out of here. I get it. I get it. So all the pages, even after this, is all posted. Okay. So I'll strongly encourage you to flip through this. And it's like, hey, I wonder what that one is all about. I'm gonna try that. Did Mr. Erickson post the key? I'm gonna go check. And the keys are posted in bunches, so you just gotta go find the bunch that includes the one you're after. And then just some of them are just straightforward SAS. Like look at this one. I can tell already. SAS, solve for that one. That one is an easy one. right? And then some other ones here you can see is A and B, right, on page 44. So there's more to it. So keep that in mind. Okay. Let me review one more thing here with you before we go. So this is just to prepare you for the test. Go to page 58. Page 58. Oh, sorry. What is it right now? Is that the cost per fuel? I think it's about 130, 133, give or take. If this is all true, calculate the annual fuel cost. And remember, when I do these, I don't give you the exact same question that you're going to have on the test. I just don't believe in that. But they're the skills that I go over kind of apply to that. So page 58, if you're writing this down. So fuel economy is already given. You're not calculating it. So what I'm going to do is kilometers in a year, because it says annual fuel cost. Kilometers in a year would be, oh, sorry guys, can we change this? 2,000 kilometers in a month. That's just to make it a bit more interesting, because I changed that to a month. Yeah, sorry about that. So kilometers in a year would be 2,000 kilometers times 12, right? That'd be 24,000 kilometers driven in a year. And now what? To find the cost of fuel, what do you need before you find the cost of fuel? How many liters you're gonna need, right? You're gonna need to figure out how many liters will I need to drive this distance. And what's gonna give me that? The fuel economy is gonna allow me to figure that out. Okay? So we're gonna say if you use 5.3 liters for every 100 kilometers you drive, what's gonna go on the other side? Where's the 24,000 gonna go? Down here, right? Then for 24,000 kilometers, how many liters will I need to fuel up, right? You need to first figure out like how many liters do I even need. That's always the first step before figuring out the cost. So X, sorry, I'm just gonna say X is, right, you cross multiply and divide. Show me the work when you do these. Some of you just out of nowhere numbers just pop out. You multiply things and just tell me how you got that. That's actually 1,272 liters. That's approximately what a car drives a year, by the way. 24,000, 20,000. Depends on where you live, what you do. If you like to cruise around every weekend, probably more than that, right? But if you're just going to work, that's what it is. So now that I have the liters, here's the cost, right? Cost is 1272 liters. You multiply that by the whatever it costs per liter, and I just gave you an average, right? I can't tell you what it's going to be for the whole year. Okay. Yeah. 1698.12. So if you want to know, if you want to budget for your fuel for the year, you take the 1698, you divide that by 12, right? So about, 130 bucks a month, give or take. That's a Prius though. My truck, more than that, right? So fuel economy, and you're also gonna need to know how to do finance, vehicle finance. So loans, remember? Do you remember how to do payments? Are your study sheets beefed up? Yeah. I don't know if I want to do a whole question, to be honest, but just remember how to find your payment, how to find total interest. Maybe this is what I'm going to review. Just real quick here. If you wanted to reduce your payment, how would I do that? How can you make the monthly payment that you're paying, how can you make it to be less? You're about to sign the contract. Let's imagine you're about to sign the contract. I'm going to sign, the payments are a bit too high. Yeah. I'm going to actually use your own words, right? More down payment. Higher down payment. Increase your down payment. Yes. What else? Yeah. Increase time to pay off. Yeah. Don't be scared of saying, like, increase your amortization, take longer to pay it off, increase the term, whatever. And this one, it depends on the wording. This one, shop for a lower interest rate. Shop for lower interest rate. How about reduce interest paid? What happened there? Reduce the interest paid. Can you copy the down payment over? If you can copy this, you can say more down payment, increase the down payment. For sure, you pay less interest if you pay it off quicker. Can you increase the time to pay it off? Can you copy that over? You got to shorten it. Yeah, shorten term. Okay, so less time to pay it off. That's how you save on interest if you pay it off faster. Yeah. Yeah. Would that be less interest? Use the bathroom. Anyways, shop for a lower interest rate. So the one you can copy paste are the down payment and that one, but not the term. One more is make extra payments. Oh, come on. My pencil died. It's Friday. They're all quitting on me here. Make additional payments. You obviously wouldn't want to use that on the first case because then your payment is actually going up, right? If you're making additional payments. So don't use it here, but you can definitely use it here. You can make lump sum payments, which is like your birthday, you get a couple $100, you go to the bank here, pay it off. Or you can just say, can you set up a second payment every month at the same time for an extra $50, right? And then you actually pay it off much faster doing it that way. So this is what I ask you to have in mind as well. It's going to be somewhere in the test, and everything else is just whatever's in the booklet.